Saturday. What does that say about the explosiveness of the offense?
We were more than capable of being explosive. We was able to get opportunities where we was able to showcase our ability in open field, make guys miss, having yards out the catch. I mean, it showed up Saturday, and having that many guys with, what you said, 7 over 16 plus. I mean, that's explosive for us. 16 plus is explosive. So having that is, I mean, it shows how good our offense could be.
Kearis, what is the biggest improvements you've seen from both Ladd and AD, and how are you seeing those guys kind of feed off each other and practice, and also what we saw in the game like that?
Right, they're starting to build their confidence. I mean, being in this offense more than 1 year now, having the experience from last year, you know, translating over to this year, having the whole fall count, having Stetson as our designated QB, a whole fall count, really just gave us confidence as a receiver group. And those two guys, they was able to showcase their abilities, especially how the way they played.
Kind of put that perspective from your own experience. When you were a true freshman, you moved on to be a sophomore. I mean, just kind of describe and explain how that confidence grew.
Yeah, that confidence, it builds game by game, you know. When you get that opportunity to go out there and play, it's like, shoot, I'm trying to go ball, because in this offense, you never know when that opportunity is going to come. So when it does come, you just want to be able to showcase it and be able to put it on tape.
How much has, this offense in terms of airing it out? Like, we saw it on Saturday, and afterwards Kirby was using it as a recruiting pitch to wide receivers. I mean, how different is that?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty different, you know, especially as far as like statistics-wise. I don't think we ran the ball as much. I'm not sure, I haven't looked, but I know we threw the ball a lot, and when we did throw the ball, we was able to complete catches, and that's what it's all about, putting the ball out on the perimeter to make guys, let them make plays and things like that. So when you're able to do that, it's always fun. And us, you know, from a recruit standpoint, everybody always say George likes to run the ball a lot. I mean, we was able to showcase that we can throw the ball around, and playing versus a good team like Oregon, I mean, hats off to them. I mean, they flew all the way across the country and gave us a good run for our money, and I mean, we was excited to do that and excited for the experience as well.
Is that who you are now? Are y'all more of an air down?
I mean, we're still trying to find our identity, you know. That was just the first game, and a lot of people trying to dictate, oh, Georgia's going to be better than last night. It's just one game, and we just got to be able to be consistent. And if we keep being consistent, then maybe that's going to be our identity.
All that being said, what did surprise you and the rest of your teammates the most about that game the other day? What surprised you the most?
We was able to score 7 possessions in a row. I mean, we were going into the game. We knew it was going to be a tough game, but at certain points, we was busting up on coverages. Like if you not coverages, but from an offense standpoint, if you actually go back and watch film, we were just busting all over the field. But some way, we were still able to score touchdowns. But we still got to play better football all around, because when we get to playing teams in the SEC, it's not going to be as how it is when we played this Saturday.
Kearis, Kirby was saying that new coaches on staff are positive the way y'all do things. I was wondering how you've seen that from Coach McClendon since he got here to go to the job.
Right, if you just actually watch like receivers when we don't get the ball, just the transition and stuff, like transition downfield, like that's how you create explosive plays, being able to block downfield, like even when you don't got the ball in hand, just making yourself feel special, you know, like I know the video is all on Twitter with Ladd and AD, and you see AD up at the top of the screen blocking his tail off. Like those things like that is what really makes you a great receiver, you know. And when you can do that at a high level, that's what separates you from being a guy who can have 10 catches, 100 yards in one game. But if you look what they do without getting the ball, does that really make them a good receiver, you know? So he just preaches the fact that what can you do without the ball in your hand, because whatever you do without the ball in your hand, when you do get the opportunity, they're going to make sure they feed you.
How has he changed the receiver room over the 6 or 7 months he's been on the job?
I guess about like a mentality, like I was saying, about the transition and stuff, like not taking plays off, like every opportunity to get, making sure you just take full advantage of it, because he be ready to loaf you quick. If you don't finish with nobody, with your hands on anybody out there play, that's a loaf. So we just try to preach, like, just keep playing fast and give it all you got.
You return kicks Lad had a rushing touchdown. How much is having that sort of versatility where you guys can do so many different things in that wide receiver room sort of helping what you guys do offensively in terms of putting up points on the board?
Right, it should be fun, I know. I mean, I'm sure it was fun for y'all to watch, just seeing different guys make plays and stuff. And when you get that opportunity to go make plays, it's always fun. And with Lad, I told you, Lad balled out, but you got to give thanks to the O-line as well. I feel like those guys are really overlooked, but once you get those guys, you got to praise them as well, because without them, without the center being able to snap the ball to Stack, without the O-line, pass protecting, run blocking, I mean, none of us would be successful on the perimeter or in the backfield. So I feel like I just want to give a shout out to the O-line.
How do you think you played on Saturday?
I feel like I played pretty good. I feel like I was explosive. I mean, when I didn't get the ball, just trying to block, make sure my hands on somebody. When I did have a catch, I think I had like 3 targets. Make sure I at least catch every ball that comes my way. And for the most part, I feel like I played pretty well, but it's still room for improvement.
Kearis, Lad was a scout team a couple years ago, wasn't he?
Sir?
2 years ago, wasn't Lad a scout team guy?
Yes, Lad was a scout team guy his first year in. He was already
What do you make
making
of
plays.
kind of he's gone from that to what he's doing now?
Right, I mean, it's no surprise. I mean, once you do it in practice, you 9 out of 10 gonna do it in the game. So he been doing it ever since he's been on scout team. Even with Stet started out on scout team. Like I started out on scout team. I mean, it's just the fact that the scout team here, like we take it so serious, and most programs may don't look at scout team how we look at it. We look at it as though it's an opportunity for you to get better, and you helping the team that we finna ready to play give us a great look. So we take the scout team very serious, and guys who be on the scout team like, have a great chance of playing someday as well.
Going back 2 years ago when Lad was on the scout team, what do you remember about him and how that has helped him get to where he is now?
Right, making guys miss. I mean, you can see it Saturday how he was able to just be so elusive, make guys miss. I mean, he does it in practice every day too. He's hard to tackle, very shifty, and things that he does in practice translates over to the game.
We saw Javon Boyd at the start. What's it been like about against Javon Boyd in practice?
Man, that joker, that love to hit. I approach it. Being from Ballin, we always say 4-7-8 legend. So, man, with him being from that area, I mean, it's all tough football, and he brings it every day because, I mean, of course, he's a nickel and I'm a slot, so we see each other pretty much the whole practice. So it's always cramming between us two, but also we making each other better at the same time.
Who wins those battles?
I mean, it's football. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but it's always 50-50 chance. You know?
How much of what we saw on Saturday from Malachi is what you guys have been seeing going back to fall camp?
Right. I mean, I think it was the first scrimmage or maybe a couple practices before one of the scrimmages. He had made a pick in practice, and I was like, oh yeah, he gonna have an opportunity to play because he was the only one being able to make plays in the secondary. I mean, we got guys in the secondary who was making plays as well, but he really stood out because he was being able to guard some of our best players on offense. And when I seen him doing that, I was like, they got to find him a spot for the role on the defense. And I think he was in our down coverage, and that pick he made, I was like, oh yeah, he's legit.
When you're an older player and you see a guy like Malachi or Dalen Everett, whoever those guys are coming in, when is the indicator as a player when you know, hey, this guy's going to get a chance to see the field? When do you know?
Speaking of that, I mean, I done seen about 4 or 5 recruit classes at this point. So when you see guys coming in and guys like Malachi come in as a true freshman making plays like that, and it all starts in fall camp. Fall camp is pretty much the turning point of who can help us out with the team this year. And guys like Malachi, he was able to come in and learn what he's supposed to do and be able to earn a starting role in the personnel that we have on defense. And with him being able to do that, it's just going to increase his stock in a certain way that he could be able to play multiple positions on the field, which I think he was able to do that this Saturday.
For a guy like Malachi who was here in the spring, what's different about fall camp that makes it, like you said, that turn?
It's a little bit more slowed down. I forgot he did early enroll, but that's an experience being here for spring and then fall camp as well. Really just how it gives you the opportunity to learn the game and how the way we do it at Georgia. I mean, everybody has their own standard, but we have a standard here. And he was able to pick up on that standard pretty quick.
Did you have an indication that Georgia's defense, your team's defense, was going to be able to play like they did on Saturday?
Right. I mean, it starts with recruiting. I mean, we recruit some of the best kids in the country, and once we go against the best defense, we say it every day. Our defense is one of the best defenses in the country. And me being an offensive guy, I mean, we going against those guys every day. And I feel like we're a great offense. They get to go against us every day. So it's always competition between the offense and defense, especially in practice. I know y'all guys be able to see it, but just those moments where I think it was like the second scrimmage, like they was putting it on us. Offense, the first scrimmage, we was able to show guys, okay, this is our little bit of our identity. But the second one, they showed us who they capable of doing. So the more practice and more reps, the more confidence both sides of the ball get.
Kearis, do you guys get yards after the catch stats, like after scrimmages? Did you know that this offense would allow guys in space to be able to make big gainers?
Right. I feel like we was able to see that on the field, just not even having to look at the script. I mean, when you know we have guys who can make guys miss, I mean, it's hard to stop you pretty much because you get like that was one thing I wanted to do. I know for my past few seasons, I used to just get the ball and fall on the ground. Like I need to be able to catch it and get yards, So when you're able to do that, I mean, it just makes your offense more explosive. And we was able to do that in all fall camp and spring as well.
Kearis, you're really close to taking one back. Kind of close the last couple of years.
Right.
How badly do you want it?
I want it bad, and when I get it, y'all gonna realize how bad I want it. So that's my not one of my main goals, but I have to go score one. It's just mandatory. I've been so close every time, but when I do score, I know it's gonna be special.
We saw Carson getting some reps in that game on Saturday. What did you make of his performance, and how valuable do you think him being able to come in a situation like that, especially in an atmosphere like that, can be?
Right. I feel like Carson's ready. Whenever I told him the whole time because as a quarterback, you have those frustrating moments. You feel like, man, I need a shot. I just want to show him what I can do, and he got his shot on Saturday, and he showed Coach what he could do. I think he threw a touchdown pass. He hit me a couple times across the middle. He played with poise. He was confident in what he was doing and all the decisions that he made. So speaking on that, I feel like all our quarterbacks are ready, and Carson is our number 2. So if something was to ever go wrong with Stetson, I think Carson would be ready to go.
What'd you make of Kenny McIntosh's his catches?
Oh yeah, Kenny went crazy. I mean, it's no surprise he did it all camp. Kenny, I think he's probably the best back in college football. Just the way he runs the ball, catches it, just so explosive with the ball. And it's hard to stop that when you got guys all over the field that can make plays.
What did it mean to have guys like Nicole there on the sideline? Just so many former Dogs. Did you guys visit with them? Did they talk to the team?
Yeah, we did, but we didn't want to make it a distraction for the most part. I mean, I was able to talk to him after the game, but like during the game, it was more so we locked in. We'll see you speak, but we didn't try to let them affect us how the way we played just because they was there. We was going to go out there and play hard regardless, but we make the joke all the time, like, hey, if we played y'all, we'll beat y'all the team that he was on. So that was pretty much it, just a few jokes, but pretty much just locked in.
All right, thank you, Kearis.
Thank you.